Hello, hey guys, it's Steve, Angelina County. I made a couple videos. They weren't appropriate, I guess, so they took them down. But I'm posting this on my page now, so I won't have uh, no interference. So sorry about that, guys. The main reason why I'm making this video is very simply. On Friday night, a man died in Angelina County Jail. This individual was presumed to be intoxicated. We have no proof of that. There was no toxicology test. There's nothing been run to see how much alcohol or whatever was in the system. We're just having to take their word for it. This is Angelina County, people. This is how it works. It's sad, but it's true. I'm going to tell you how these events are going to play out because it happens over and over and over again. The gentleman was sitting on the sidewalk, was arrested for public intoxication. He was taken to county jail. He was not. No one actually confirmed he was drunk. No one confirmed if there was any other substances in his body. He was acting weirdly, and they, based on a complaint, took this individual in. This individual checked in at 9:30 or was booked in at 9:30 at night. He went through the booking process and was going through the booking process. If you've been to Angelina County Jail, then you know you don't get booked right away. They throw you in a tank and they'll wait 4 or 5 hours, supposedly for observation. That's exactly what happened to this individual. They threw him in a detox cell and said, "We'll get to you later," while they sit there and play video games on their computer and whatever it is they do. So finally, this man was checked on. Within 10 minutes of his arrival. I believe it was around 10 o'clock or whatever. And the last check that we can find out, or was actually stated, was at 10:45 that evening. And at 11:30, this man was pronounced dead. Now, here's the questions we need to ask, and there will not be any answers. Trust me, this is Angelina County. There will be no answers to the following questions. Number one, on Tuesday morning, which should have already happened because of the weekend, our Texas Rangers decided to take the weekend off. On Tuesday, Texas Rangers will open up a case. They will confirm everything, get the police report from Angelina County Sheriff's Office, whatever they put out. They will also investigate the call. They will who made the call, who was complaining, interview the officers, because now that there's a death involved, these officers now should be investigated on why, when, how this happened, or what they perceived to be an intoxicated individual that they took into the county jail to the drunk tank. What's sad is that we have had another death within 2 years in our, I don't say for 2 years, but anyway, we keep having deaths in our Angelina County. It's important to note that a compliance inspection was provided 2 weeks ago. We have not got the results back from the department who did the compliance test. We do not know if we passed compliance, yes or no. All we do know is we have a dead individual who died in jail. The details are murky at best, but I'll go over what the actual news, and this has been confirmed by three different types of news stations. One is KTRE, Channel 9. One is KLTV, and also the Lufkin News actually did a story on it as well. For those of you who know the Lufkin Daily News, you'll only get the headlines. You have to subscribe to $1 a day to get your local news. So some people miss the rest of the story. But we do know this individual is dead. We do not know if there is an autopsy been requested. We do not have results of the autopsy. The name of the individual, I cannot clarify, so I will not state this individual's name, but until Tuesday morning, when further details will come out. In other words, since Friday, today is Monday, we have had no word from anybody in official capacity tell us what happened to this individual. Angelina County residents will say this: it's not a big deal, just another drunk that died in a county jail cell. He's just another drunk. And because the fact is that he was another drunk, and he was probably minority, or some person had less than the majority of our elite and our establishment. Taken in, threw in a drunk cell, didn't get processed, wasn't properly checked on, and then he died. We have lawsuits against county police officers and police departments that have conducted the same thing, and there is an extensive investigation, not only into the arrest but also to the procedures that were put forth that evening, so they can tell what happened. We would almost assume that maybe the people that were there would tell us what happened or whatever. However, the CYA thing is probably in total effect now. But once again, a man died on Friday night. We don't have any answers, and it's now coming up on Tuesday. Angelina County, they will actually alert, or they already alerted the Texas Rangers, so the Texas Rangers are going to have to do an investigation. As we have known and what has been proven to us, the fact is that we have a ranger, Mr. Hicks, who has supposedly been moved out of the area. But will he be involved in this? Because the fact is, we all know he protects the elected officials, and he will not complete the investigation, or if he is subject to the investigation, he has his input on this investigation, it will be negative. No one will ever find out what actually killed this individual on Friday night. The autopsy, it will be performed, but it's up to the family if they want to have the autopsy, to continue with the autopsy or not. My bet is they haven't even contacted the individuals to ask them if they want to get the autopsy, and the autopsy would never be provided. So we may never know what this man died of. A nurse came in and took his vitals before he passed away. He was normal, according to all of what was reported. So see how they're covering their ass now. We got a nurse in there, so still doesn't answer the question of how he died. Did he die of alcohol poisoning? I don't know about you, but the rest of the world knows that detox on any drug or alcohol is dangerous. It is dangerous to the point because the fact is that your body doesn't respond, and you have to be monitored for a period of time. Matter of fact, if you're detoxing and you go, say, for example, they put you in rehab or whatever, your first 3 days in rehab is just for you to detox. You are constantly monitored. We didn't do that in Angelina County Jail. If you put a person in jail for public intoxication, you have to monitor this individual to see if he gets worse, to see how he reacts. Same applies to if an individual is on drugs or any other foreign substance. He never was checked. His blood alcohol content was never checked. The presence of other drugs or contributing drugs to was never affected. They never tested for that. All we know is public intoxication went to a death in a jailhouse. Many questions arise. What happened from the time that he arrived in jail at 9:30 till the time he died at 11:30? Was he uncooperative? Did they tase him? Did something happen at the site that would alerted the officers that maybe there's something going on besides Scott being intoxicated? Or do they just assume this guy's intoxicated and he's not having a mental breakdown? They never check for mental status. They never check for anything. They just said he's intoxicated, he's drunk, throw him in the drunk tank. This is a type of county sheriffs we have, and also police officers roaming our streets. One would assume if you go up on an individual who's intoxicated, clearly he doesn't have all his faculties, you would rule out every possibility. Sir, you've been drinking tonight. Have you taken any drugs? Do you have blood pressure? Are you taking any medication? These random questions we always ask to the jailhouse. So when you actually get there to the jailhouse, you can actually tell them the information that you have obtained from this individual, so you can pass it on to jailhouse personnel so they take the appropriate actions. If these questions were never asked, then the county then Lufkin PD is liable for the death of this individual. If Angelina County did obtain this information, they're liable for his death. There's a certain role that you assume as if you are a police officer, a first responder, whatever you are as an official capacity. Even though you arrested the individual, you still are responsible for his behavior. You're still responsible for anything that happens to him after your arrest. When you're arrested, you become property of the state, and they are responsible for your well-being. Bottom line. I'm personally looking forward to whatever they come out and whatever reasons they come out with, and how long they actually try to hide this information and make it go away. However, with the current events that are happening in Angelina County, we have a corruptive government that's killing people now, causing people personal harm. We have individuals who are driving down roads that are unsafe to drive on. We have individuals who are waiting in jail for 3 to 5 years before they get a trial. We have individuals incarcerated, not properly being represented, not being able to go to trial to prove their innocence. Yes, I said that. In the United States, we are innocent until we're proven guilty. Not in Angelina County. They will arrest you. As Mr. Delfino previously put a video out, you're arrested and you're kept in jail for 3 years, pushing it right up to the statute of limitations. Statute of limitations on some of these people, it's over in 3 years and they haven't gone to trial. They haven't even set a court date. The situation is getting worse and worse as we speak. We have a group of individuals that said we want to build bridges to it. We want to build bridges to our commissioners, to our people, or whatever. All that means is you want to get them on your side to report information so you can get the inside scoop, and that's not what we're headed here. What we're doing here is the fact is that people are suffering here because of a government. We don't need to build bridges. We need to burn the current bridges down, because this corruption keeps going on, and it's one thing after the other, and we as citizens keep turning a blind eye. I'll give you stats. Even in a general election in Angelina County, you'll only get 15% of the public to vote. That's problem one right there. Number two is that individuals that actually do go vote, they are told the consequences if they don't vote the way they want or the way elected officials want. I'll tell you a quick story. There was a man, he was growing up as a young man, and an officer showed up at his door and shot his dog. No reason, just shot his dog. That man grew up to be an older gentleman, and what he used to do is on election day, he would drive the bus. He would go pick up people here young, picking up people to go vote. Never All he would say is, people, I can't tell you how to vote. But I'm going to just tell you this right now. That person you're voting for in there, when I was a young man, he shot my dog. So while we're trying to build bridges, civil rights are being broken. While we're trying to build bridges and gain support from these individuals and putting ourselves before other people, then it's still going to continue to happen. They're continuing to do the same thing that is wrong with the county. They're participating the same dang way over and over again, and it solves nothing. I don't want to pass any blame to anybody else, but I'm telling you this right now: when people start dying, then building bridges stops for me. I want to know answers. I want to know why. I want these people to start answering questions from the public. I want to know why from district attorney councils. Why does it take you so long to bring cases to trial? I want to know why. I want to know why Kerry Kirby, who's responsible for advising county commissioners' officers on what's legal and what's not, why is he not being charged as well? Because did he not tell the commissioners, you got to record these meetings, put him on record? As we know in Angelina County, nobody goes on record. Nobody will be interviewed. No one will go on record to actually say exactly what happened. We hear it third party through the news, which is either biased or it's censored. Anybody who tries to report the truth or ask these serious questions are blocked on Facebook. They're blocked on social media. You're a troublemaker, and we want you to form our opinion. I'm sorry, people, it doesn't work that way. You are a United States citizen. You have a right to know what's going on in your county, and you shouldn't have a third party tell you information. You should be able to find it on your own. In Angelina County, we've got multiple problems. We have multiple problems that Trent Ashby is fully aware of. Pete Sessions is fully aware of. I don't know Pete Sessions. Anyway, our congressmen are actually aware of. They have not stepped in. We have a district attorney who has violently broken civil rights of inmates, of other individuals. We have a sitting judge who allows continuances based on his judgment, not on what a continuance is actually stated for. Why? It's stated a death in the family, the main reason. It's not something serious to have a continuance. Discovery, these type of issues. Not that it's not convenient for us. Attorneys don't get the right of convenience. It's the judge's court. And by God, he runs his court. And you know what? I say you're going to have a court on this day, and this is what happened. Get paired. Everything's here. Prove your case, counselor. This does not happen. A discovery hearing will be put off. A discovery hearing that whenever there's actually a videotape that enters the discovery is actually edited. So you don't get to see the full tape. Tapes are not provided to the general public by barring of by our Angelina County attorney or our district attorney, because they don't want you to see the real picture. They want you to make up your own mind. They want to have your opinion shaped for you. In every generation, you can see the toll that it's taken on our county, because the fact is that people just they're apathetic, because you know what? It's not going to change. As a citizen, I want to know why somebody died in jail. I don't want to have to wait 3 days for somebody to tell me how it happened. I want the facts to be released. I want somebody standing in front of a microphone. I want somebody answering questions. I want a district attorney who can stand and tell me why the cases are being backlogged. Why do we have a backlog of 3 to 5 years of cases yet to be heard? Why do we have appointed commissioners that have never been elected? We don't have a say-so. And why are we spending money on an airport to build another hangar that we have no specs on, that we just spent what, last year we just spent umpteen amount of dollars of putting a fence around it to keep the deer out of it? Do we really? Angelina County. How many of you guys fly into Angelina County on a regular basis? Well, I can tell you this, the people who do utilize it and who actually use that airport, I'm telling you, they're in the upper class citizens here, and we pay for them to actually be able to fly back and forth to Houston so to avoid the hassle. We also make money off the fuel. Do we see any of that profit? Do we see any of that? No, we don't. Is there a dollar figure that you can put on that? No, it never has been discussed. I'm making this video because the fact is that I've really basically had enough. And it's just it doesn't take me that very much, because everybody knows I'm a former Marine, or I am a Marine, retired Marine. And it don't take me long to see through bullshit. And anybody who spills bullshit in front of me, I'm going to call you out on it. The reason why I did that was because of why I do that way, and I am that way, is because the fact is, you know what? I know with every decision that there's a possibility that people's lives could be in danger. Just like this situation. Angelina County Jail is not the first time they've been out of compliance. And now with the death in their jail, believe me, they're not going to be in compliance. They're going to go through and they're going to actually look at every procedure, and they're actually Texas Rangers investigation. But the fact is that there's going to be a third-party investigation initiated by us citizens. And this third-party initiation, inspection and procedures will actually be for us to possibly, if they release it, to see. And if it's not, Texas Rangers have the responsibility of explaining and putting it on paper their investigation. We should be asking for that. Right now, citizens of Angelina County should be putting freedom of information requests for one thing, or for multiple of things. What is the cause of death? When will there be an autopsy? When can we prove that public intoxication was the actual answer? And where can we see the documents to prove that that was the actual official cause of death? Was this gentleman tased? Was he provoked? Was he mishandled when he actually went into the county jail? Did they initiate a procedure that put his life in danger? Breathing, bleeding, protecting for shock. These kind of things that every individual who carries a bag should know. You start the breathing, you stop the bleeding, protect the wound, you treat for shock. And these people don't know that. So the thing about it is that we should be asking questions, but we won't, because we still have the 15% that won't. That only there's 15% of people who are interested. 15% of the people will actually vote. Nothing will change. And questionably, people will still be incarcerated for longer than they need to be. They will be dying. And we don't know how many of these individuals are sick inside our county jail, because the fact is that we have a nurse that only comes in twice a week, and she's not even a nurse, she's a PA, physician's assistant. If you have a loved one in Angelina County, then please call and ask, or ask to talk to them. Tell them to call you. Get the message to call them. If that doesn't work, here's what you do. You put in a request for a health evaluation, health and mental evaluation of that particular loved one that you're concerned about. They have to provide you the answer. Not just, well, we talked to him. No, you have to provide me the observations that you went through for the period of time for me to feel 100% sure. The veil needs to be lifted. And it can't come from building bridges. I'm not building bridges from people who have broken the law. And let me rephrase. Any person in Angelina County who knows and has proof or has witnessed in any of this corruption that's going through Angelina County at this time or previous times, if you don't come forward and you don't say that you knew something, you're as guilty as they are. You are as guilty as they are. You're contributing to the fraud and corruption. And now, because we didn't check the procedures of our jail, now we have a person dead. And this is not the first time. Get this. The last person who passed away in Angelina County Jail, they settled for $456,000. That's what the commissioner said we're going to pay for. Why not half a million? Why not 750? Why not like a person's life is? Why did they settle for that? Because that is the amount that the insurance would pay. No remorse from the county. No change of laws. No closer inspections. No nothing of that. What happened was they settled for $456,000, swept it under the rug, and said, hope nobody actually asked about it. In that case, what happened was at the autopsy, well, the family refused an autopsy. If I'm speaking in language or people can get this message out, please, if you're part of the family, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, and it hurts me in my heart. But I'm telling you this right now, do not be taken to the cleaners. Ask for the autopsy. Because you want to know, and you deserve to know as a family, what actually happened to your loved one on that night from 9:30 till 11:30. You have a right to know. You before anybody else. The citizens should be informed, and we should know that information. But if you can't give it to the citizens, at least properly give it to the family. There will be another lawsuit. There will be continued lawsuits. To find that out, one must ask Kerry Kirby, how many lawsuits are actually against Angelina County right now? He won't provide that information. How many lawsuits are scheduled to come up before court? He won't tell you that information. But I'm willing to bet all the money in my pockets against all the money in your pockets, that those lawsuits, if even half of them go through, we're not going to be able to make it in the budget. Our budget is not ready for this corruption. So who pays? We pay for it. Don't you think we should have a right who's actually pulling the strings here when we have to pay for it? Don't you think it's a God-given right for people to know how a person died? And if there was mistakes, how are you going to fix them? Tonight, as I sit here and I'm making this video, I can't be sure if another person is assumed intoxicated or drunk is going to be treated with care when he goes to Angelina County Hospital. And what pains me, where I can't see a sense of humanity in Angelina County is the fact is, you know what? A person is dead. Let's find out why. But there's too many people here in Angelina County to do this. Just a drunk. Just throw him in the trunk. Just throw him in the trunk. Thank you. This ain't freaking Mayberry. Okay? Otis just don't get to let himself in and out of jail. You got to check on him, see if he's okay. And this is another complaint that we have against the sheriff's department because they're not making routinely checks. And I'll guarantee you right now, they're going through those books and they're actually doctoring up times that they checked on this individual. However, we do have a statement from Sheriff Selman that says these times, these events occurred at this particular time. Let's see how far it takes them to walk that back. The only thing that happened here is a person died in the custody of law enforcement. Answers will not be fast in coming. The cover-up began on 11:30 on Friday night. And we as Angelina County will know this, but there will always be something in the back of our mind and say, you know what, something doesn't sound right about this. And they won't tell me. They will not confirm it. They will not give me the details. And so the cover-up begins. First thing on Monday morning, Daily Lufkin Daily News will get a phone call. Well, we're still doing research. We're doing an investigation. We got the Texas Rangers on it. Passed the buck to the Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers, it was an ongoing investigation. They can take as long as they want to. Because here, we think on a 72-hour news cycle. We pay attention to a story as long as it's 72 hours into the news cycle. But after that, it tends to go away. It's not important on us. We got other news. We got other information coming in. Nobody will forget about this individual who died. He may have been drunk. He may have been, yes, all the above. But that still does not give the right for this. That still does not give an answer to why this man died in jail. And we won't know. And the scary thing is that we won't know because we won't ask. We'll accept whatever answer they give us and trot on like nothing ever happened. It's a damn shame. I'm going to share this video everywhere. If you like and see this video, or you see this video and you believe that we have a case, if you believe in Angelina County, people start asking questions, or don't rely on us because we can't protect ourselves. We cannot protect ourselves from our own worst enemies, which are right here. And the Cobra said, we cannot, they go to bed right beside us. We cannot protect ourselves from the corruption that is here. So if you see this video, if you get to see this, please double check in your database. Look the story up. Look at what I'm telling you to see if it's true, and then follow along. There's many websites that I follow that for justice, civil rights, all these issues cover very many issues. The reason why I follow these individuals is because the fact is, you know what? I want to know what's happening to them. And if I can support them get over the corruption they have in their town, then I will gladly do so just by sharing the information. I hope that they'll return the favor and do the same thing for me. I take about this much stock in anything that I hear from Angelina County or I hear from other groups or people. Because the fact is they're pulling the wool over their own eyes and not recognizing the problem. I'll guarantee you the first story that'll be out of everybody's mouth come tomorrow will be the unit road system. The unit road system that we voted for 75%, and they didn't carry it out. So guess what? We have multiple lawsuits filing against these individuals and nothing has happened. Why? Because the district court will not take up the case. And why? Because the fact is, the way it was written, the way it was presented, it's just one person taking revenge on another person because they didn't do what he wanted to say. That's it. District court is not going to get involved in that. They have failed. The district court has failed to even investigate it. They rely on the Texas Rangers and they rely on our DA. And because we're so apathetic, so because we do not participate in our own freedoms, they don't pay attention because we ain't got nothing to say. So, Trent Ashby, I'm sending this to you too. Look. Matter of fact, I'm going to spend pretty much all night playing videos and posting them, or playing videos and sending them to Trent Ashby. It's going to be my mission in life tomorrow. And anybody that's got an email address, that's who I'm sending it to. Because the fact is that people have got to start standing up. Now, who knows? In Angelina County, hell, everybody drinks a beer, gets a little drunk every once in a while. They get a little bit too much to drink or whatever. Some people have to take heart medication. Some take this or whatever. I need to be monitored. You need to be monitored when you go in there. Lack of monitoring is slavery. And I'll say it out loud. Angelina County, they are practicing slavery. Even though we just celebrated Juneteenth, it's still here. Unfortunately, it's not racially motivated anymore. What it is, it's those who have something to gain against those of us who pay the price. These individuals will move on to bigger and better pastures. They will move on to different towns, get a different salary from somewhere, whatever. Toting on their resume that they were a county, but their resume won't tell everything that happened. So, when do you think we should put these sumbitches on trial? When do you think it's too late? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? How long do we have to wait for justice in this county? Did I piss you off? Good. One of my favorite things to do was in combat was, you know what? Instead of having some bitch sitting there crying in his beer, I'd say, I piss him off. Are you pissed off? No. Let's go to work now. Now let's go to work. But we got bigger and better things to do. We got to concentrate on a unit road system. Meanwhile, we die in jail. I'm out. I'm not fucking